The desert night swallowed sound. At 2:47 in the morning, the Nevada darkness pressed down like something alive, something hungry, the kind of darkness that made men check locks twice and kept children awake with nightmares they couldn't name. Cole knew that darkness. He'd walked through it for 40 miles. 15 years old, and his body had forgotten what not hurting felt like. His feet were wrapped in duct tape and cardboard where shoes used to be. The left one had given out somewhere around mile 20. The right held until 32. After that, it was just feet on sand and rock and broken glass that the desert scattered like gifts. But none of that mattered. What mattered was the weight in his arms. 8 years old and lighter than she should be. Harper. Her name was Harper, and she hadn't spoken in 6 months, and her breathing was getting shallow. The gate appeared through the heat shimmer. Metal. Industrial. Topped with barbed wire that caught moonlight and threw it back sharp. Behind it, a squat brick building. Motorcycles lined up outside like soldiers, 14 of them, chrome catching starlight. Hell's Angels. Cole's father used to ride. Before the cancer, before everything. Dad had told him stories about bikers, about brotherhood, about codes that meant something when nothing else did. They protect their own, Dad had said, and sometimes, if you're lucky, they protect people who got nobody else. Cole hoped that was true, because he had nobody else. Harper stirred in his arms. A small sound escaped her lips. Not words. She didn't do words anymore. Just sounds that meant pain or fear or please make it stop. Almost there, Cole whispered. His voice cracked. Dehydration. 3 days since water, 2 days since food. 40 miles with 90 pounds of little girl who'd given up hoping a long time ago. His knees hit the gate. The clang echoed across the empty parking lot, loud. Too loud. But Cole couldn't stop it. His legs had just stopped working. He went down, arms still locked around Harper, protecting her even as gravity pulled them both toward concrete that would split skulls and break bones. They hit. The impact drove air from lungs that didn't have much left. Cole's vision sparked white, then gray, then something darker than the desert night. But his arms stayed locked. Please, the words scraped out of his throat. Please protect her. Inside, the building lights came on, boots on concrete, heavy, multiple sets, moving fast. They're coming. Cole's lips formed the words, but he couldn't hear his own voice anymore. They'll kill her. Please. The gate opened, hands on him, big hands, rough but somehow gentle. Jesus Christ, look at them. Kids half dead. Get iron, now. More hands, lifting Harper from his arms. Cole tried to fight, tried to hold on. She was his responsibility, his to protect. 3 years of holding her hand through cage bars. 3 years of promising her it would be okay someday. Easy, son. A voice like gravel and whiskey. We got her. She's safe. Cole's eyes focused. A man, 50-something, leather vest covered in patches, tattoos running up both arms, face that had seen violence and survived it, eyes that had seen worse. But those eyes, they weren't cruel. Please. Cole's hand reached out, grabbed the man's vest. There are 12 more children, still trapped. You have to save them. The man's expression changed. Something cold settled behind his eyes. Not cold toward Cole, cold toward whoever put a 15-year-old boy in the desert with a dying little girl. Where ranch, 40 miles east, off Route 93, underground. Cages. Cole's vision was going dark again. They're in cages. Stay with me. The man's hand came down on Cole's shoulder, squeezed. I need more. How many guards? What kind of security? 6 guards, rifles, cameras at the gate. The kids are in a bunker, behind the main house, locked from outside. The words tumbled out. Everything Cole had memorized during 3 years of watching, waiting, planning. How'd you get out? Warren, one of the guards. He finished with one of the younger kids, left the door unlocked. I grabbed Harper and ran. The man's jaw clenched so hard Cole heard teeth grind. When, 2 days ago, we walked at night, hid during the day, found water where we could. Cole's grip on the vest weakened. But they know we're gone. They're looking, and when they find us, they won't. The man's voice had gone from gravel to granite. Not here. Not ever. You understand me. You made it. You're safe now. Safe. Cole didn't know what that word meant anymore. Hadn't known for 3 years. But looking at this man's face, at the fury barely contained behind practiced calm, at the promise written in every line and scar, maybe he was about to learn. I'm Iron, the man said, president of this charter. What's your name, son? Cole. And the girl, Harper, she's 8. She doesn't talk anymore. They beat it out of her. Iron's eyes closed, just for a second, just long enough to push down whatever was building in his chest. Get them inside. He stood, turned to the men gathered around. Steele, Ghost, Mac, inside now. We got work to do. They carried Cole through doors that smelled like oil and leather and coffee, into warmth that felt wrong after 2 days of desert cold. Past walls covered in photographs and patches and flags that told stories Cole didn't know. A room opened up. Leather couch, pool table, bar running the length of one wall. Men everywhere, big men, dangerous men, the kind Cole had learned to avoid. But they weren't looking at him like prey. They were looking at him like something else, something Cole couldn't name. A woman appeared, silver hair pulled back, medical bag in hand. She took one look at Harper and her nurse's mask slipped. Dear God. She knelt beside the couch where they'd laid the little girl, hands moving with practiced efficiency, checking pulse, temperature, pupils. Then she saw Harper's arms. The woman's hand stopped, just stopped, hovering over skin marked with perfect circles, small, deliberate, dozens of them, cigarette burns, old scars overlapping new wounds, a map of suffering written on a child's body. Elena, Iron's voice was quiet. I need you professional. Can you do that? The woman, Elena, took a breath, nodded, went back to work. Dehydration, severe malnutrition, fever, at least 103. These burns are infected. Her voice stayed steady, but her hands shook. She needs a hospital. Can't do that. Not yet. Not until we know what we're dealing with. Iron, can you stabilize her here? Elena looked at Harper, at this broken little girl who probably weighed less than 60 pounds, at wounds that told stories no child should ever have. Yes, but she needs IV fluids, antibiotics, proper care. Then give it to her. Whatever you need, whatever it takes. Elena nodded, started pulling supplies from her bag. Cole watched from a chair someone had pushed him into. His body was shutting down, trying to, but he couldn't sleep. Couldn't close his eyes, had to watch Harper, had to make sure he married. A bottle appeared in front of his face. Water. Cole's hands shook so badly he almost dropped it. Slow. Iron crouched beside him. You chug that and you'll throw it right back up, small sips. Cole obeyed. The water hit his tongue like electricity. Cold, clean, real. He'd been drinking from puddles, from runoff ditches, from anywhere that wasn't sand. When's the last time you ate? Cole tried to remember. 2 days, maybe 3. Mac, food, something soft. His stomach won't handle much. A younger man, 25 maybe, disappeared toward what looked like a kitchen. Iron settled into the chair across from Cole. His eyes never left the boy's face. Studying, assessing, seeing things Cole tried to hide. How old are you? 15. Where are you from? Phoenix, originally. Parents. Dad died, cancer, 4 years ago. Mom. Cole's voice went flat. Mom couldn't handle it. Started using. I went into the system. Foster care. For a while, then I ran. Why? Cole looked at Harper. At Elena working over her with gentle hands and barely controlled rage. Because the system doesn't protect kids like us. It just moves us around until we disappear. His eyes came back to Iron. And then we really disappear. 3 years ago, Iron said, it wasn't a question. That's when they took you. Bus station in Phoenix. I was 12. Man said he was taking me to a group home. Better place, clean beds, 3 meals. Cole's laugh had no humor in it. He wasn't lying about the group home part, just didn't mention the cages. The room had gone silent. Every man within earshot had stopped moving, stopped talking, just listening. "Tell me about the ranch," Iron said quietly. And Cole told him about the bunker dug into desert hardpan, about 12 cages lined up like prison cells, about children ranging from 5 to 14, about the guards who fed them twice a day, about the buyers who came at night, about the children who left and never came back. Told him about Harper. She was there when I arrived, age 5. They'd grabbed her from a hospital parking lot. Her mom went inside for something, and when she came back, Harper was gone. Elena made a sound, not quite a sob, not quite a scream, something in between. She cried for her mother for months, every night, screaming, begging, crying until her voice gave out. Cole's hands clenched into fists. Warren would beat her to make her stop, belt, fists, cigarettes, whatever was handy, but she couldn't stop. She was 5 years old and she wanted her mom. When did she stop talking? Iron's voice had gone soft, dangerous soft. 6 months ago, there was a buyer. He wanted her. Sheriff said she was too young, not ready, but the buyer kept coming back, kept offering more money. And Sheriff, he started to consider it. Cole looked at Harper, at her small chest rising and falling, at the teddy bear clutched against her, even in unconsciousness. She heard them talking about it, about selling her, about what the buyer would do to her, and she just stopped crying, stopped talking, stopped everything except breathing. The silence that followed was absolute. Mac returned with soup, simple broth, nothing fancy. Cole forced down a few spoonfuls. His stomach cramped immediately, but he held it down. "The other kids," Iron said. "Tell me about them." "Tyler's the oldest, 10, red hair. He's been there 18 months, before me. He tried to escape once. They broke his arm in 3 places to teach him a lesson." Cole listed them, names, ages, how long they'd been imprisoned, what he knew about their stories. 12 children, 12 souls trapped in hell, while the world moved on. "You said Sheriff owns the place," Steele spoke up. The VP, second in command, voice like steel, matched his road name. "Sheriff of what county?" "Don't know the name, but I heard the guards talking. Sheriff Blake runs the operation with his brother Warren. They've had the ranch for 15 years, moving kids through, selling them to buyers all over the country." Ghost appeared from the back, laptop under his arm, former FBI. Cole could tell from the way he moved, the way he assessed everything with calculating eyes. "I need more," Ghost said. "Exact location if you can. Description of the buildings, guard rotation, anything you remember." Cole told him everything, every detail he'd memorized during 3 years of watching, waiting, planning his escape. When he finished, Ghost disappeared back into whatever tech cave he'd emerged from. Iron stood, paced to the window, looked out at the desert darkness. "You carried her 40 miles. It wasn't a question, but Cole answered anyway. She couldn't walk anymore. About 10 miles back, her feet gave out, so I carried her. In the desert, in summer, with no water. Had to, couldn't leave her." Iron turned, looked at this 15-year-old boy who should be playing video games and worrying about homework. This child who'd walk through hell carrying another child because it was the right thing to do. Why Harper? Why not Tyler? He's older, stronger, could have moved faster. Cole met his eyes. Because Harper is the one they wanted most. The buyer. He was coming back. Next week. Sheriff had agreed to the sale. If I didn't get her out. If I didn't. He couldn't finish. Didn't need to. Iron nodded slowly. "You did good, son. Real good. I left 11 others behind. You saved one. And you came here for help for the rest. That's more than most people would do." Elena finished with Harper's Ivor. Stepped back. Her face was pale. "She's stable, for now, but Iron, these injuries, this level of abuse, it's systematic, sustained, years of it. I know. Do you? Because if what this boy is saying is true, if there's an operation that's been running for 15 years, if a sheriff is involved," her voice dropped to a whisper. "How deep does this go?" Iron's phone buzzed. He looked at the screen. His expression went flat. "Ghost found the property. It's real. Registered to a shell company. Took him 20 minutes to trace it back. To who? Sheriff Blake. Just like the kid said. Iron pocketed the phone. And it gets better. Blake's brother, Warren, has a record. Assault. Trafficking charges that got dropped. Insufficient evidence. Steele swore. How many of these operations are out there? Too many. Iron looked at Cole. But we're about to shut this one down. Cole's heart jumped. You're going after them. Did you think we just let it slide? I don't know. Nobody's ever helped before. The words hung in the air. Raw. Honest. The kind of truth that came from someone who'd learned not to expect anything from anyone. Iron crouched in front of him again. Eye to eye. Listen to me carefully. You walked at 40 miles through the desert carrying a little girl because you promised to protect her. You came to us for help even though you had no reason to believe we'd give it. You survived 3 years in hell and came out still caring about other people. He paused. That takes strength most men never find. So yeah, we're going after them. We're getting those kids out. And we're making sure the people who hurt them answer for it. When? Soon, but first I need to ask you something. Cole waited. Those men at the ranch, the ones who hurt you, hurt Harper, hurt all those kids. Iron's voice was steady, controlled. What do you think should happen to them? The question caught Cole off guard. Nobody had ever asked what he thought, what he wanted. He was just a kid, a nobody, a piece of trash the world had thrown away. But Iron was asking, really asking, waiting for an answer that mattered. Cole thought about Warren's fists, about Sheriff Blake's cold eyes watching children cry, about the buyers who came in expensive cars to shop for kids like they were shopping for furniture. Part of him wanted to say hurt them, make them suffer like we suffered, break them like they broke us. But another part, I want them stopped, Cole said finally. I want them so they can never hurt another kid, ever. But first I want you to save the others, Tiller and the rest. They're still there, still in those cages, and that matters more than revenge. Iron studied him for a long moment. Something shifted in his expression. Respect, maybe, or recognition. Like he was seeing something in Cole that even Cole didn't know was there. You're a good kid. You know that? I'm nobody. Wrong. You're somebody who walked through fire to save someone smaller. That's the definition of somebody. Iron stood. Get some rest. You're dead on your feet. Can't. Have to watch Harper. Make sure she's okay. Elena's watching her, and so am I, and every man in this clubhouse. She's safe. You both are. Cole wanted to believe that. Wanted to so badly it hurt. But believing meant trusting. And trust was something the world had beaten out of him a long time ago. Harper stirred. A small sound escaped her lips. Cole was on his feet immediately. Exhaustion forgotten. Body moving on instinct. He knelt beside the couch. Took her small hand in his. Hey, Harper. It's me. You're safe now. These are good people. They're going to help us. Her eyes fluttered open. Unfocused. Confused. Then they landed on his face. And something happened that made every person in that room go still. She smiled. Not a big smile. Not the smile of a child who'd forgotten pain. But a smile. A real one. The first one Cole had seen in 6 months. Her lips moved. No sound came out. But Cole had learned to read her lips during 3 years of holding her hand through cage bars. Safe. He nodded. Squeezed her hand. Yeah, we're safe. Her eyes drifted around the room, taking in the men, the leather, the patches, the hard faces that were trying very hard to look gentle. They landed on Iron. She stared at him for a longer moment. At this big, dangerous man with scars and ink and eyes that had seen too much. At the chain around his neck, the one holding a locket. Then she did something that broke that room wide open. She spoke. Her voice was rusty, unused, barely a whisper, but it was there. Pretty. One word. After 6 months of silence. One word. Iron looked confused. What? Harper's hand lifted, pointing at his chest, at the locket. Pretty. He reached up slowly, like approaching a wild animal, lifted the locket from around his neck, opened it. Inside, A photograph. A little girl, maybe 9, bright eyes and a brighter smile. That's my daughter, Sarah. His voice was rough. She's not here anymore. Where 2 words now, each one a victory. She got sick, cancer. Doctors couldn't save her. She died 12 years ago. Harper's eyes filled with tears, not for herself, for him, for this stranger's loss. Sorry. Iron's throat worked. He couldn't seem to speak. Cole felt his own eyes burning. 3 years. 6 months. He'd been trying to get Harper to talk, to make any sound, anything. And she chose now, chose this moment, for this man who'd shown them kindness when kindness was supposed to be extinct. Elena was crying openly, not trying to hide it. She's beautiful, Harper whispered, looking at the photograph. Like an angel. An iron. This hard man who'd built walls so high nothing got through. This president of a motorcycle club with a reputation for violence. This father who'd spent 12 years drowning his grief in leather and engines. He broke. Tears streamed down his face. He didn't wipe them away, just let them fall. Thank you, sweetheart. He closed the locket gently. She was an angel, best thing that ever happened to me. Harper's hand reached out, touched his arm, her small fingers on his tattooed skin. You're good, like Cole. You save people. Something shifted in that room. Some invisible line had been crossed, some barrier broken down. These children, these broken, damaged, abused children. They saw something in Iron, something he'd thought he'd lost with Sarah, something he didn't know he had left to give. Purpose was them. Yeah, his voice was steady now, decided. Yeah, I save people, starting with you and your brothers and sisters at that ranch. Harper's smile grew wider, still small, still fragile, but there. Will you save them tonight? Iron looked at Steele, at Ghost emerging from the back with a laptop, at the gathered brothers who'd stopped pretending they weren't listening. We need more intel first. Need to know exactly what we're walking into. But soon, real soon, I promise. Cole says your promises mean something. They do. Then I believe you. She closed her eyes, the medication Elena had given her pulling her under, but her hands stayed in Cole's. Even in sleep, even in safety, some habits were too hard to break. Cole settled on the floor beside the couch, his body finally giving up the fight. He'd carried Harper 40 miles. He'd gotten her to safety. He'd asked for help from dangerous men who turned out to be exactly what his father said they were. Protectors. He was asleep before he realized it was happening. Iron watched the boy sleep, watched the little girl, watched 2 children who should never have known the kind of suffering etched into their skin. Steele appeared at his side. What's the plan, boss? We call church. Everyone. I want every member in the chapel in 1 hour. It's 4 in the morning. I don't care if it's Christmas. We got 12 kids in cages. We got a sheriff running the trafficking operation. We got a 15-year-old hero who walked through hell because nobody else would. Iron turned to face his VP. We're riding tonight, we're getting those kids, and we're ending this, whatever it takes. Steele nodded. I'll make the calls. As he walked away, Elena appeared. You're really doing this? You doubted, no, but Iron, if the sheriff is involved, if this goes as deep as it sounds, you're not just picking at a fight with criminals, you're picking a fight with the system. The system failed these kids. The system let this happen for 15 years. The system can go to hell. Elena studied his face. The ex-wife who still knew him better than anyone. You see her in them, in Cole and Harper. You see Sarah. He didn't deny it. Couldn't. Sarah died and I couldn't stop it. Couldn't fight it. Couldn't do anything except watch. His jaw clenched. But I can fight this. I can save these kids. And maybe that means something. She took his hand, the gesture simple, familiar. It means everything. To them, to you, to all of us. Ghost returned. Got satellite images of the property, 6 buildings, main house, bunker structure behind it, guard shack at the gate, 3 vehicles. Tire tracks suggest regular traffic. Cameras confirmed at 2 entry points. How current? Taken yesterday. But there's more. I ran financials on the shell company. Money moving in and out, lots of it. Payments from all over. Different accounts, different names, all routing through one place. Where a charity, Desert Hope Foundation, claims to help homeless children. The irony was bitter. Who runs it? Sheriff Blake is listed as a board member, but the actual director. Ghost pulled up a photo. Senator Harris, 3-term senator, sits on the Committee for Child Welfare. The room went silent. A senator, not just dirty cops, not just criminals, a sitting United States senator running a charity that claimed to help kids while actually trafficking them. How deep does this go? Steele's voice was quiet. We're about to find out. Iron looked at the laptop screen, at the ranch in the satellite image, at the bunker where 12 children waited in the dark. But first, we get those kids out, then we burn this whole operation to the ground. FBI, Ghost, you still got contacts. A few, the ones who aren't compromised. Get them ready, but we move first. We can't wait for warrants and red tape. Those kids don't have time. The brothers started gathering, filtering in from back rooms and side doors. 15 men, all wearing cuts, all looking like they'd rather be sleeping. Until they heard why they'd been called. Then they looked like they were ready for war. Iron stood at the head of the table in the chapel, the room they used for decisions that mattered, the room where brotherhood became action. 3 hours ago, a 15-year-old boy collapsed at our gate. He'd walked 40 miles through the desert carrying an 8-year-old girl. Both of them escaped from a trafficking operation. A ranch 40 miles east run by Sheriff Blake and his brother. He laid out everything Cole had told him, every detail, every horror, every name. When he finished, the room erupted. We ride now. Burn it down. Kill everyone there. Enough, Iron's voice cut through. We do this smart. We do this right because if we screw up, those kids die. And we're not letting that happen. The room settled. Ghost has intel, satellite images, property layout. We're going in tonight. Quiet, professional. We extract the kids. Then we let the FBI handle the rest. The FBI, Max sounded skeptical. If a senator's involved, how do we know the FBI isn't compromised? We don't, but Ghost is working on that. Finding people we can trust. People who'll move when we give them what they need. And if we can't find anyone, Iron's smile was cold, then we handle it ourselves. The planning took 2 hours. Approach routes, entry points, contingencies. Everyone had a role. Everyone knew their part. By the time the sun started creeping over the horizon, they were ready. Cole woke to voices, low, urgent, planning. He sat up carefully. Harper still slept beside him, her breathing steady, color back in her cheeks. Elena appeared with more food, real food this time, eggs, toast, protein. Eat, you need your strength. For what? We're moving tonight, getting the other kids. Cole's heart jumped. You're really doing it. Did you think we wouldn't? I've learned not to count on anything. Elena crouched beside him. You can count on this. Iron doesn't make promises he won't keep. If he said he's getting those kids out, he's getting them out. Cole ate. The food tasted like hope. When he finished, Iron appeared. Need to ask you something, okay? The raid tonight. I want you to stay here. Stay with Harper. Stay safe. No. Iron's eyebrows rose. No. I know that ranch better than anyone. I know where the guards stand, which doors are locked, which aren't, where they keep the keys, how the cameras are positioned. Cole stood. His legs wobbled but held. You need me. You're 15 years old. You've been through hell. You need rest, recovery, not another fight. Those kids are my family, Tyler, the others. I promised them I'd come back. I promised I'd save them. Cole met Iron's eyes. Please, let me help. The silence stretched. Then Iron nodded slowly. You stay with me. You do exactly what I say. No exceptions. Deal. And if things go wrong, if shooting starts, you get behind me and stay there. Understood? Understood. They spent the day preparing. Cole showed them everything on Ghost satellite images. Pointed out details only someone who'd been there would know. This window, it's always unlocked. Warren smokes there between shifts. This gate, it looks locked, but the chain's broken. Hasn't worked in months. The bunker, only one entrance, but there's a ventilation shaft. Leads directly to the cages. That's how I got out. By sunset, they had a plan. By midnight, they were ready. 14 motorcycles lined up outside the clubhouse, engines rumbling like distant thunder. Men checking weapons, radios, making final preparations. Harper woke as they were leaving. Saw Cole putting on a jacket, borrowed, too big, but better than the rags he'd worn for 3 years. You're going, not a question. Yeah, to get Tyler and the others. She sat up, her hand found the teddy bear, clutched it tight. Be careful. Always am. No, you're not. You stood between me and Warren when he had a belt. That's not careful. Cole knelt beside her. I'll come back. I promise. Cole, her voice was small, scared. What if something bad happens? Then Iron and his brothers will handle it. They're good at this. But what if they're not good enough? What if you don't come back? He took her hand, the same hand he'd held through cage bars for 3 years. Harper, listen to me. I walked 40 miles through the desert to get you here. You think I'm going to let anything stop me from coming back to you? She almost smiled. You're stubborn. Runs in the family. That got a real smile, small but real. Iron appeared in the doorway. Time. Cole stood, looked at Elena. Take care of her. With my life. He walked to the door, turned back one last time. Harper was watching him, those ancient eyes in that child's face. Eyes that had seen too much, survived too much. Bring them home, she said. 3 words, clear, strong. Bring our family home. Cole nodded, couldn't speak past the lump in his throat. Then he walked into the night. The convoy rolled out at 12:47 a.m. 14 bikes moving through darkness like ghosts. No headlights until they were miles from any town. No sound except engines and wind. Cole rode behind Iron, arms wrapped around the president's waist, feeling the power of the bike between his legs, the rumble of the engine in his bones. For 3 years he'd been powerless, a child in a cage, property to be sold. Now he was riding with men who'd chosen to fight, who'd decided that some things were worth the risk. Now he was going back. But this time he wasn't running away. This time he was coming to tear it all down. The ranch appeared 40 minutes later, exactly where Cole said it would be. Lights on in the main house, guard shack illuminated. Everything just like he remembered, except this time. He wasn't alone. This time he had brothers. The bike stopped a quarter-mile out, engines cut, silence dropped like a curtain. Iron gathered them close, voice barely a whisper. Ghost, steel, 3 others, north side, ventilation shaft. You get to those kids and you get them out. Quiet, clean. No heroics. They nodded and disappeared into darkness. Rest of you, with me, we're going through the front. Through it? Mac questioned. Iron smiled. It was not a pleasant smile. They're expecting us eventually. Let's not disappoint. They moved through desert scrub, silent, professional. Years of riding together had made them more than brothers, made them a unit. The guard shack came into view. 2 men inside, drinking coffee, watching a small TV, not paying attention. That was their first mistake. Their last mistake was working for people who hurt children. Iron moved like smoke, ghost-like, silent. By the time the first guard realized something was wrong, it was over. No shots fired, no alarms raised. Just 2 unconscious men zip-tied and gagged. The gate swung open. Cole's heart hammered. Every step toward that main house brought back memories. Warren's fists, Blake's cold eyes, the sound of children crying in the dark. But he kept moving. Had to. Tyler was in there, and Ava and Leo and all the others. His family. Iron reached the main house first. Tried the door, locked. He knocked, polite, civilized. Footsteps inside. The door opened. Warren stood there. Recognition flashed across his face. Saw Cole. Saw the bikers. His hand went for the gun on his hip. He never made it. Iron's fist connected with Warren's face. The guard dropped like a puppet with cut strings. "Oh, stay here," Iron told Cole. "I mean it." Then he was inside, Mac and the others with him. Sounds of brief struggle, thuds, curses, silence. Iron's voice. "Clear." Cole entered. Warren zip-tied on the floor. Two other men. Same treatment. All of them conscious, but not going anywhere. "The bunker," Cole said. "Tyler and the others." "That way." They moved through the house, out the back, across desert hardpan to the concrete structure built into the hillside. The bunker. The door stood open. Ghost and his team already inside. And coming up the stairs. Children. 12 of them. Blinking in moonlight. Some crying. Some silent. All terrified. Tyler saw Cole first. The 10-year-old's face transformed. "Cole, Cole!" He ran, crashed into Cole so hard they both almost fell. "You came back. You said you'd come back, and you did." "Told you I would." "I didn't believe you. I thought you'd forget about us." Cole held the boy, this kid who'd protected him when he first arrived, who'd taught him how to survive, who'd become the brother he never had. "Never, I'd never forget you." One by one, the other children emerged. 11 souls Cole had promised to save. And here they were, free. Arn watched it all. Watched Cole become the center of these children's universe. Watched them cluster around him like he was the only safe thing in a dangerous world. "We need to move," Steele said quietly. "Sheriff Blake isn't here. He'll know soon." "Good." Iron's voice was cold. "Let him know. Let him come. I'm done hiding." They loaded the children onto bikes, careful, gentle. Each one paired with a brother who'd ride slow, who'd keep them safe. Cole rode with Tyler behind him, the boy's arms wrapped tight around his waist. "Where's Harper?" Tyler asked. "Safe, waiting for you, for all of us." Is she okay?" "She's talking again." Tyler's arms tightened. "Really, Tari? Really? Because of you, because you saved her. Because of us, all of us. We saved each other." The convoy started back, slower now, precious cargo aboard. No one spoke about what would happen next, about the sheriff who'd come looking, about the senator who'd want them silenced. That could wait, right now. Right now they had 12 children heading toward safety, toward hope, toward home. The clubhouse appeared like an oasis, lights on, Elena waiting at the door, Harper beside her, when she saw the bikes, when she saw Tyler and the others. She ran, bare feet on concrete, teddy bear clutched in one hand, running toward the convoy like her life depended on it. Cole barely got off the bike before she crashed into him, arms around his waist, face buried in his chest. "You did it. You really did it." Tyler climbed down, saw Harper, his face crumpled. "Hey, Lilybug." She turned, saw him, made a sound that wasn't quite human. They collided. Two kids who'd survived hell together. Reunited. One by one, the others joined. 12 children plus Harper. 13 total. A family forged in darkness, tested by suffering, surviving. And in the middle of it all, Cole, 15 years old and finally understanding what his father meant, about protecting people, about standing up, about being worth something. Iron watched from a distance. Elena appeared beside him. "You did good," she said. "They did good." Cole and Harper. "They're the brave ones." "So are you." He looked at her, this woman who'd loved him, left him, come back when he needed her most. "This isn't over. Blake will come. The senator will send people. This is just the beginning." "I know, but right now, right this moment, look at them." He did. 13 children, laughing, crying, holding each other, safe, for the first time in years, maybe ever. Safe in whatever came next, whatever fights they'd have to fight, whatever prices they'd have to pay. This moment, this was worth it. This was everything. Harper found Iron in the chaos, tugged on his vest. "Thank you." 2 words, simple, perfect. "You're welcome, sweetheart." "Cole says you keep promises, that you're good people." "We try." She looked up at him with those ancient eyes. "Will you protect us, all of us, forever?" Iron knelt down, put himself at her level. "Harper, I can't promise forever. Life doesn't work like that. but I can promise today, and tomorrow and every day after as long as I'm breathing, nobody hurts you again. Nobody hurts any of you. Ever. That's my word. She studied his face, looking for lies, for cracks, for the betrayal she'd learned to expect. Found none. Okay? She threw her arms around his neck. Thank you, Grandpa Iron. The words hit him like a freight train. Grandpa, no one had called him that. Would have called him that if Sarah had lived, if cancer hadn't stolen everything. But this little girl, this broken, beautiful, brave little girl, she'd just given him something he thought he'd lost. A reason. Elena was crying again. The brothers were watching, trying not to show emotion, failing, and Cole stood in the center of his family, the children he'd saved, the men who'd helped him save them. For the first time in 3 years, he smiled, really smiled, not the smile of someone who'd forgotten pain, the smile of someone who'd learned that pain wasn't the end, that sometimes, if you were brave enough, if you fought hard enough, sometimes you found family in the strangest places, sometimes you found home, and sometimes, just sometimes, you found heroes in leather and ink who rode motorcycles and kept promises, who protected the innocent, who stood between the darkness and the light, who made you believe, really believe, that maybe, just maybe, the world had corners that weren't sharp, that some people kept their word, that hope wasn't dead, just harder to find, but worth every mile walked, every tear shed, every moment of doubt and fear and desperate prayer, worth it all, outside. The desert night pressed close. Somewhere out there, Sheriff Blake was getting a phone call, learning his operation had been raided, his product stolen, his empire threatened. Somewhere, Senator Harris was making calls, pulling strings, mobilizing resources. Somewhere, the fight was just beginning. But inside the clubhouse, inside these walls that smelled like oil and leather and hope, 13 children slept safe, and a 15-year-old boy who'd walked through hell watched over them. A president who'd lost his daughter but found purpose stood guard. Brothers who'd chosen to fight instead of looking away kept watch. And for tonight, for this moment, that was enough. Tomorrow would bring new battles. But tonight they'd won. Dawn broke over the clubhouse like a promise. Cole woke to the sound of children's laughter. Real laughter. Not the hollow kind that happened in cages when you were trying to remember what joy felt like. The real thing. High and clear and free. He sat up on the couch where he'd fallen asleep. His body ached. 3 days of walking through desert had carved pain into muscles he didn't know he had. But it was good pain, earned pain, the kind that came from doing something that mattered. Tyler was at the kitchen table with Harper, playing cards. Badly. Elena supervised with coffee and a smile that didn't quite hide the worry in her eyes. "You're awake." Iron appeared from the back office. He looked like he hadn't slept. Probably hadn't. "How you feeling?" "Like I got hit by a truck." "You walked 40 miles and led a raid. Close enough." Iron gestured toward the kitchen. "Eat something. We need to talk." Cole followed him, accepted a plate of eggs from Elena. They tasted like everything good in the world. The other children were scattered throughout the clubhouse, some sleeping, some awake, but quiet. All of them looked lost, like they'd been freed from cages but didn't quite believe it yet. Ava sat in a corner, 8 years old with brown hair and eyes that tracked every movement, watching for threats that weren't there anymore. Leo, her little brother, 6 years old, hadn't left her side since the rescue, clutched a blanket someone had given him like it was armor. 11 other stories, 11 other souls trying to remember how to be human. "FBI's coming." Iron's voice was low. "This morning, Ghost tipped them off, sent them everything. The ranch, the shell company, Senator Harris's connection, all of it." Cole's fork stopped halfway to his mouth. "FBI's trafficking operation this big. We can't handle it alone. Need law enforcement, real law enforcement." "What about Sheriff Blake?" "Still in the wind. Disappeared after the raid. But we got Warren, and Warren's talking." Something cold settled in Cole's stomach. "What's he saying?" Iron exchanged a glance with Elena. "Maybe we should talk about this later, after you've rested." I've been in hell for 3 years. I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever Warren said. Another pause. Then Iron nodded, pulled out a chair, sat down heavy. Warren says the ranch was just a staging area. A waypoint. Kids come in, get processed, then get moved to other locations based on what buyers want. Cole's hands clenched. Other locations? He mentioned one specifically, called it the Summit, a facility in the Colorado Rockies, old mining operation. They take kids there for conditioning, training, breaking them down and rebuilding them into whatever the buyer ordered. The eggs turned to ash in Cole's mouth. How many kids? Warren estimates 50, maybe more. He's only been there once, but he said kids who go to the Summit don't come back. Tyler looked up from his cards. His face had gone pale. I heard about that place. The guards would threaten us with it. Said if we caused trouble, if we tried to escape, they'd send us to the mountain and we'd never see daylight again. Harper's hand found Tyler's. Squeezed. Senator Harris, Iron continued, he's not just a buyer. He runs the whole network. The Summit, the ranches, multiple operations across the country. Warren gave us locations, names, everything he knows. Why, Cole asked. Why would Warren talk? Because Ghost showed him the video, the one of you walking through the desert carrying Harper. Showed him what he did to an 8-year-old girl. Showed him cigarette burns on a child's arms. Iron's voice went flat. Warren broke, started crying, said he never wanted to hurt kids. Just fell in with the wrong people. Got in too deep, too scared to leave. That's not an excuse. No, it's not, but it gave us intel we need. And Warren's going to testify against everyone. Sheriff Blake, Senator Harris, the whole network. Steele appeared in the doorway. Boss, we got company. Everyone tensed. 3 SUVs, federal plates, FBI. Iron stood. Everyone stay calm. They're here to help. But Cole noticed the way Iron's hand went to his belt, the way Steele positioned himself near the door, the way every brother in the clubhouse shifted slightly. Ready. Trust didn't come easy, not even with badges. The agents came in like they owned the place. 6 of them, suits in serious expressions, led by a woman, 40-something, sharp eyes, no-nonsense demeanor. I'm Special Agent Morrison, FBI. We received information about a trafficking operation. Iron stepped forward. I'm Iron, president of this charter. The kids are here, 13 of them, all rescued from a ranch 40 miles east. Morrison's eyes swept the room. Landed on the children. Her expression didn't change, but something shifted behind her eyes. We'll need to interview them. Document their injuries. Process them through the system. The system failed these kids once already. Iron's voice was steel. How do we know it won't fail them again? You don't, but you also don't have legal custody. These children are victims. They need proper care, medical evaluation, therapy, things you can't provide. We can provide safety, protection, family, things the system couldn't. The standoff stretched. Morrison studied Iron. He studied her back. Finally, she nodded slowly. I understand your concern, but we have protocols. These children need to be placed in protective custody while we build our case. Against who? Everyone involved. Sheriff Blake, his brother Warren, and Senator Harris. The name hung in the air. You're really going after a sitting senator? Steele asked. If the evidence supports it? Yes. And if it doesn't, Morrison's jaw tightened, then we'll follow where it leads. But I need those children. I need their testimony. I need to document everything before defense lawyers start muddying waters. Cole stood. Every eye turned to him. They're not just evidence, they're people. Tyler and Ava and Leo and Harper, they have names, they have stories. They're not just case numbers. Morrison looked at him. Really looked. You're Cole, the one who walked through the desert. Yeah, that was brave. Incredibly brave, but now you need to let professionals handle this. Professionals let this happen. Professionals didn't stop Sheriff Blake for 15 years. Professionals didn't save us. Cole's voice rose. Iron and his brothers did. In one night. What took you 15 years? The room went silent. Morrison's expression softened, just slightly. You're right, the system failed you. Failed all of you, and I can't promise it won't fail again. But I can promise to fight, to build a case so solid that everyone involved spends the rest of their lives in prison. Can you trust me to do that? Cole wanted to say no, wanted to tell her to leave, to let Iron handle it. But he looked at Harper, at Tyler, at the others. They needed more than protection. They needed justice, real justice. The kind that came with courtrooms and convictions and making sure this never happened to anyone else. Okay, his voice was quiet. But we stay involved. We don't just hand them over and disappear. Morrison nodded. Fair enough. The next 3 hours were chaos. Agents documenting, photographing, recording statements. Elena worked with them, making sure the children weren't overwhelmed, making sure someone they trusted was always present. Cole sat through his interview, told his story again, every detail. 3 years compressed into clinical language. When it was done, Morrison pulled him aside. We're taking the children to a secure facility, medical evaluation, then temporary foster placements until we can find permanent homes. When this afternoon, that's too fast. I know, but we have reason to believe Sheriff Blake is still active, still dangerous. These children are witnesses, they're targets. We need to protect them. Cole looked at Tyler, at Harper, at his family. I'm going with them. You're 15. You'll be placed separately. Then place me with Tyler or Harper. I don't care which, but I'm not leaving them. Morrison studied him. The bond between you and these children, it's strong. They're all I have. What about your mother? The question hit like a fist. What about her? Our records show she's been looking for you. She got clean. Cole, your mother got clean. She's been searching for 3 years. The world tilted. That's not possible. It's true. She checked into rehab 2 weeks after you disappeared, completed the program, and when she got out, she came looking. Cole's legs gave out. He sat down hard. Where is she? Morrison's expression changed, grief replacing professional distance. I'm sorry, she passed away 8 months ago, cancer. The words didn't make sense, couldn't make sense, his mother. The one who'd chosen drugs over him, who'd let him fall into the system, who'd abandoned him. She'd gotten clean. She'd looked for him. She'd died never knowing if he was alive. There's a letter. Morrison pulled an envelope from her bag. The hospital had it. They didn't know how to reach you, but when this case broke, when your name came up, we made the connection. Cole took the envelope with shaking hands, his name on the front. In handwriting he remembered from birthday cards and homework help before everything fell apart. He couldn't open it. Not here. Not now. Not with agents and questions and the world pressing in. He pocketed it. Thank you. I'm sorry. I know this is a lot. Too much. Everything was too much. Iron appeared. Read Cole's face, dismissed Morrison with a look. Give us a minute. The agent left. Iron sat beside Cole, said nothing, just sat there, solid, present. She looked for me. Cole's voice cracked. 3 years I thought she'd forgotten I existed. And she was looking. Yeah. She died thinking I was gone. Maybe, or maybe she knew somehow. Mothers, they have a way of knowing. Cole pulled out the envelope, stared at it. I don't know if I can read this. You don't have to. Not now. Not ever if you don't want. That's your choice. But it wasn't really, was it? This was the last thing his mother would ever say to him. The last piece of her that existed in the world. He opened it. The handwriting was shaky, weak, written by someone whose time was running out. My beautiful boy, I don't know if you'll ever read this. Don't know if you're even alive, but I have to believe you are. Have to believe somewhere out there you're surviving, because that's what you do. You survive. I'm so sorry. Sorry for everything, for choosing drugs over you, for failing you, for not being the mother you deserved. I got clean, did it for you, thought maybe if I could get better, I could find you, could make it right. I've been searching for 3 years. Every lead, every tip, every possible place you might be. But you vanished, like you never existed. The system couldn't find you. The police couldn't find you. And now I'm dying and I'll never know what happened. But I saw something on the news tonight. A raid. Children rescued from a ranch in Nevada. And one of the faces, Cole, one of the faces looked like you, older, harder. But your eyes, you have your father's eyes. I don't know if it was really you. The news wouldn't release names. Just said children were rescued. Said they were safe. I'm choosing to believe it was you. Choosing to believe you made it. That you're somewhere safe. That you survived. I'm so proud of you. Proud of the man you're becoming. Your father would be proud too. He always said you were stronger than you knew. Braver than you believed. I love you. I never stopped loving you. And I'm sorry I never got to tell you that one more time. Be good, be kind, be the person I know you can be. Love always, Mom. Cole read it 3 times, each word carving itself into memory, into the hollow place where anger had lived for so long. She'd looked, she'd fought, she'd died hoping, and she'd been right. The news she'd seen. That had been him. The mountain raid. She'd seen his face and known. Somehow known. Her last thoughts had been relief, pride, love. Not abandonment, not failure. Love. Iron's hand came down on his shoulder, squeezed, said everything words couldn't. I need to tell Harper. Cole's voice was thick. And Tyler. They should know. That my mom. That she. He couldn't finish, didn't need to. The afternoon came too fast. FBI vehicles lined up outside, ready to transport 13 children to safety, to processing, to the system that had failed them before but promised to do better this time. Promises. Everyone made promises. Tyler found Cole in the chaos. They're splitting us up. Me to one facility, Harper to another. You somewhere else. I know. I don't want to go without you. We're family. We should stay together. We will, just not right now. Right now, we have to trust them to keep us safe. I don't trust anyone except you. Cole pulled the 10-year-old into a hug. This kid who'd taught him to survive, who'd been his first friend in hell. I know, but Tyler, we're out. We're free, and yeah, we're being separated for a bit. But it's not cages. It's not guards. It's not buyers. It's just time until they sort everything out. What if they don't? What if we never see each other again? Then I'll find you, however long it takes. Wherever you are, I'll find you. That's a promise. Tyler held on tighter. Your promises mean something. Always. Harper was next. She'd been crying, silent tears that broke something in Cole. I don't want to leave. Her voice was small. I just got you back. Just started talking again. What if I stop again? You won't. How do you know? Because you're stronger than they ever let you believe. You survived 3 years. You can survive a few weeks apart. Weeks. Maybe less. Morrison says they were working fast, building the case, getting everyone arrested. Then they'll work on permanent placements. Will we? Will we get to stay together? Eventually, Cole wanted to promise. Wanted to say yes, absolutely we'll all be together. But he'd learned not to make promises he couldn't keep. I hope so. I really hope so. But Harper, even if we end up in different places, different families, we're still connected, still brothers and sisters. That doesn't change because of distance. She hugged him, her small arms barely reaching around his waist. I love you. You're the best big brother anyone ever had. The words shattered him, rebuilt him, made him understand what his father meant about family being the people who showed up, who stayed, who fought for you, even when it cost them everything. I love you too, Lilybug, so much. The vehicle started loading, children paired with agents, climbing into SUVs that would take them away from this place, this strange sanctuary of leather and ink and men who'd chosen to care. Iron watched each one go, his face carved from stone, but his eyes told a different story. He'd failed his daughter, couldn't save her from cancer. But these 13 kids, these 13 lives he'd helped rescue. Maybe that was redemption. Maybe that was purpose. Cole was the last to leave. He turned at the vehicle door, looked back at Iron. Thank you for everything. You don't thank family. You said I was family? Said it, didn't I? Iron's voice was gruff, emotional. You need anything, anything at all. You call, day or night, doesn't matter. You're one of us now. Cole nodded, couldn't speak past the lump in his throat. Then the door closed. The vehicle pulled away, and the clubhouse disappeared behind them. 3 days passed. Cole was placed in a group home. Temporary, clean, safe. Everything a facility should be. But it wasn't the clubhouse. Wasn't Harper's laugh or Tyler's smile or Iron's steady presence. He called the clubhouse every night. Iron answered every time. Gave updates. Tyler was doing well. Harper was talking more every day. The others were adjusting. FBI was making progress. Arrest coming soon. Everything was fine. Until it wasn't. Day 4, Cole woke to his caseworker's face. White, terrified. What's wrong? There's been an incident at the medical facility where some of the other children were being held. Cole was on his feet immediately. What kind of incident? 3 children are missing. Tyler, Ava, and Leo. They were taken sometime during the night. Security footage shows nothing. Guards saw nothing. They just vanished. The world stopped. Tyler, gone. Ava and Leo, the siblings who'd survived together, gone. How? Cole's voice was barely a whisper. How does that happen at a secure facility? We don't know. FBI is investigating. But Cole, they think someone on the inside helped. Inside help, a guard, a worker, someone bought, someone planted. The network was bigger than they thought, deeper, more connected, and they had just taken 3 kids. Cole's hands clenched into fists. Where's Iron? I don't think. Where is Iron? 20 minutes later, Cole was in an FBI vehicle heading back to the clubhouse. Morrison drove, her face grim. We underestimated them. The network. We thought shutting down the ranch would be enough. That Warren's testimony would break them. But they're organized, well-funded, and they have reach we didn't anticipate. You promised to protect them. You said they'd be safe. I know, and I failed. We failed. But we're going to get them back. How you don't even know where they are. Morrison's jaw tightened. Warren told us about the summit, the facility in Colorado. It's the only place that makes sense. If they took Tyler and the siblings, that's where they'd go. The clubhouse appeared. Cole was out of the vehicle before it fully stopped. Iron met him at the door. One look at Cole's face and he knew. Tyler. Gone. With Ava and Leo, taken from the medical facility. The fury that crossed Iron's face was biblical, but his voice stayed controlled. When last night, sometime between midnight and 6 a.m., Steele appeared. Ghost just confirmed. Warren said the summit is in the Colorado Rockies, old mining facility, about 8 hours north. How many? Warren estimates 50 kids, maybe more, plus guards, armed security. It's a fortress. Cole felt his legs going weak. Tyler, his brother, the kid who'd kept him alive, who'd taught him how to survive, taken to the place where kids went and never came back. We have to go after them. Cole's voice shook. We have to get them out. We will. Iron's hand came down on his shoulder. But we need a plan. Can't just charge in blind. Don't have time for a plan. Every hour they're there, every minute. I know, but charging in stupid gets everyone killed, including Tyler. We do this smart, fast, but smart. Morrison stepped forward. This is an FBI matter. We can't authorize civilian involvement. You had them in custody and lost them. Your authorization doesn't mean much right now. Mr. Iron, it's just Iron, and here's what's going to happen. We're going to Colorado, we're going to that facility, and we're getting those kids. All of them, every single child in that place. You can come with us, help us, or you can stay behind and file paperwork. Your choice, Watu. Morrison stared at him, at this biker who'd just declared war on a network that had been operating for decades. Who'd decided that badges and protocols didn't matter when children were suffering. If I come, if the FBI comes, we do this by the book, legal, clean. So when we catch these people, they actually go to prison instead of walking on technicalities. Fine, we'll play by your rules after we get the kids out. That's not how it works. That's exactly how it works because I've seen your rules in action. They left 13 kids in cages for years, left my daughter to die because the system moves slow. Your rules, your book, it doesn't work fast enough. The standoff stretched. Cole watched, waiting, hoping Morrison would see what he saw. That sometimes doing the right thing meant breaking rules that were never meant to protect the innocent in the first place. Finally, Morrison pulled out her phone, made a call, walked away, came back 5 minutes later. My superiors are authorizing a tactical team. They'll meet us in Colorado, but this is an official FBI operation. Understood. Understood. Iron didn't smile. This wasn't victory. This was just the next fight. When do we leave? 1 hour. I need to coordinate with local field offices, get equipment, personnel. We leave in 20 minutes, with or without you. Morrison's eyes narrowed, then she nodded. 20 minutes. The next 20 minutes were organized chaos. Bikes prepped, weapons checked, ghost pulling maps, satellite images, everything they could find on the summit. It's old, Ghost pointed at his screen. Abandoned mining operation from the 1950s. 5 levels underground. Original surveys show ventilation shafts, emergency exits, but that's 60 years out of date. Who knows what's changed? How many guards? Steele asked. Unknown. Warren only went there once, saw maybe 6, but he said they rotated, different faces every time. So could be 6, could be 60. Yeah. Cole studied the images. The facility looked like nothing. Just a hill with an entrance. A forgotten relic. The perfect cover for something evil. I'm coming with you. He said it like fact, not request. No. Iron didn't look up from the map. You stay here. Tyler's my brother. Those kids are my family. Which is exactly why you stay. Can't think straight when it's personal. It's personal for all of us. Not like it is for you. Iron finally looked up, met Cole's eyes. You've been through enough. Let us handle this. I know that place. Warren described it to me. The layout, the routines. I know things you don't. Warren can tell us. Warren's been there once. I've been studying trafficking operations for 3 years. Listening, learning, memorizing. I know how they think, how they operate. You need me. The silence stretched. Then Elena spoke from the doorway. He's right, and you know it. Iron turned. Stay out of this. No, because he is right. Cole knows these operations, knows the mindset, knows what to look for, and more than that, those children in that facility, they're going to be terrified. They're going to see armed men and think buyers. They're going to run or hide or fight. But if they see Cole, if they see one of them, someone who survived, someone who came back, that changes everything. Iron's jaw worked, fighting something internal. He stays with me, every second, no exceptions. Cole nodded. Deal. And if shooting starts, you get behind me and stay there. Understood. I mean it, Cole. You're 15. You've got your whole life ahead. I'm not letting you throw it away playing hero. I'm not playing anything. I'm saving my brother. Something shifted in Iron's expression. Respect. Pride. Maybe both. All right, gear up. We leave in 10 minutes. The convoy that rolled out was different from the ranch raid. 3 FBI SUVs, 14 motorcycles, a tactical van, all heading north toward Colorado, toward the mountains, toward the summit where 50 children waited in darkness. Cole rode behind Iron again, but this time felt different, heavier. The ranch had been about saving people he knew, Tyler and Harper and the others. This was about saving people he'd never met, 50 souls who didn't know rescue was coming, who'd given up hope a long time ago, if they'd ever had hope to begin with. The ride took 8 hours, through Nevada desert into Colorado mountains. Landscape changing from flat hardpan to rolling hills to alpine forests that blocked out the sun. They stopped twice, once for fuel, once to coordinate with Morrison's FBI team. The tactical commander was a man named Davis, former military, looked at the bikers like they were a liability. We go in at dawn. Coordinated strike. FBI takes point. You stay back and provide support if needed. Iron crossed his arms. That's not what we agreed. That's what's happening. This is a federal operation. You're here as consultants. We're here to get those kids. How we do it doesn't matter. It matters to me. I'm not having civilians die because they thought they were action heroes. The standoff was interrupted by Ghost. I found something. He pulled up new satellite images, recent, taken that afternoon. Heat signatures, underground. I count 47, maybe more. Hard to tell through rock, but that's a lot of people. 47 kids, Morrison breathed. Or guards. Doubtful. Heat signature size suggests children and adolescents. Adults would show different. Cole felt something cold settle in his chest. 47, not 50. Warren's estimate was close, but not exact. How many had they lost? How many had been sold or moved or worse? There's something else. Ghost zoomed in. Vehicle tracks, recent, within the last 6 hours. 3 vehicles. Arriving, not leaving. Fresh delivery. Steele's voice was grim. Tyler and the siblings, they just got there. Which meant they were still alive, still recoverable, still savable, but also meant the network knew the FBI was coming, knew their operation was blown, which meant they might be planning to evacuate, to destroy evidence, to eliminate witnesses. We go now, Iron's voice cut through. Not dawn, now. It's midnight, Davis protested. Dark, unfamiliar terrain. We need daylight. Those kids don't have until daylight. You saw the vehicle tracks. They're moving, probably planning to clear out before morning. We go now or we go never. Morrison looked at Davis. Some silent communication passed between them. Finally, she nodded. We go now. But my team leads. Understood? Your team leads, but we're right behind you. The final approach was on foot. Too loud to ride bikes, too visible. They parked a mile out and moved through forest like ghosts. Cole stayed with Iron, every step measured, quiet, professional. The brothers moved like they'd done this before. Maybe they had. Cole didn't ask. The entrance came into view. Concrete bunker built into mountainside. Lights on inside. 2 guards visible at the door. Rifles, alert. Davis signaled his team. FBI moved in, silent, fast. The guards went down without a shot fired. Clear, Davis's voice came through the radio. Entry secured. They moved inside, downstairs that went deeper, deeper, into mountain darkness lit by fluorescent lights that buzzed overhead. The smell hit first. Unwashed bodies, fear, suffering concentrated in enclosed spaces. Cole knew that smell. Then sounds, whimpering, crying. Children's voices begging in languages Cole didn't know. His hands clenched. Tyler was down here, somewhere in this darkness, along with 46 others. They reached the first level, doors lining both sides, heavy metal, locked from outside. Davis tried the first one. Locked, shot the handle. Door swung open. Inside, 3 children, huddled in the corner, just maybe 6 to 10. They screamed when they saw armed men. It's okay, Morrison moved forward, hands up, non-threatening. We're here to help, FBI. You're safe now. They didn't believe her. Why would they? How many times had adults lied to them, promised safety and delivered pain? Cole pushed past Davis, ignoring protests, knelt down to their level. Hey, my name's Cole. I was in a place like this once, for 3 years. I know you're scared. I know you don't trust us. But I promise, we're really here to help. One of them, a girl, maybe 8, looked at him. How do we know? Because I'm like you. I survived. And now I'm here to make sure you survive too. Something in his voice, his face, his eyes that had seen the same hell. It reached them, slowly, so slowly, they stood. Let Morrison lead them out. Keep moving, Iron's voice. We got 44 more to find. They cleared the first level, 6 rooms, 18 children, all terrified, all broken, all free. Second level, same layout, more children, more crying, more fear turning to disbelief, turning to fragile hope. Third level, 4th, and then 5th level, the deepest one. Cole heard Tyler before he saw him. Get away from me. I don't care who you are. I'm not going anywhere. A familiar voice, fierce, terrified, fighting. Cole ran. ignored Iron calling after him, ignored everything except that voice. He burst into a room, saw Tyler backed into a corner, two FBI agents trying to approach. Tyler holding a piece of broken pipe like a weapon. Tyler? The 10-year-old's head whipped around, saw Cole. The pipe dropped from nerveless fingers. Cole, yeah, buddy, it's me. You came. Of course I came. Told you we'd find you, always. Tyler launched himself forward, crashed into Cole so hard they both went down. The 10-year-old was crying, huge racking tears that shook his whole body. I thought they took me somewhere you couldn't find. Thought I'd never see you again. Never, I'll always find you, always. In the corner, Ava held Leo, both of them watching with wide eyes. Is it real? Ava whispered. Are we really getting out? Cole looked at her, at this 8-year-old girl who'd protected her little brother through hell. Yeah, it's real. We're all getting out. All of us. The extraction took 2 hours. 47 children, various ages, various states of injury and trauma. All of them were led out of darkness into Colorado night air. Cole watched them emerge, one by one, blinking at freedom, at stars, at a world they'd forgotten existed, and at the center of it all, one more person being let out in handcuffs. Senator Harris. He'd been there, in the facility, probably checking on his investment when the raid hit. Now he was being read his rights. Camera crews documenting. Everything official. Legal. By the book. Morrison had kept her promise. The senator saw Cole as they dragged him past. His eyes widened. You're the one from the ranch. You did this. Cole met his gaze. This powerful man, this predator in a suit, reduced to just another criminal in handcuffs. No, sir, we did this. He gestured to the children, to the brothermen, to Morrison and her team. All of us, together. Harris's face contorted. Rage, fear, disbelief. You have no idea what you've done. The people I work with, the network. This is bigger than you can imagine. Then we'll take it down piece by piece, starting with you. They threw Harris in a vehicle, drove him away, the first domino falling. Iron appeared at Cole's side. You did good, kid. We're not done yet. No, but we won this round. 47 kids heading to safety. A senator in custody. The summit shut down. That's a win. Cole looked at the children, being checked by medics, wrapped in blankets, given water and food and the first real kindness some of them had ever known. Tyler sat with Harper. She'd been brought up from her facility. Reunited. The two of them holding hands and crying and laughing at the same time. Ava and Leo clung to each other, refusing to be separated. Morrison wasn't even trying. Some siblings needed to heal together. 47 children, plus the 13 from the ranch. 60 souls total. 60 lives changed. But somewhere in Cole's mind, a question nagged. This was big. Bigger than one ranch, bigger than one facility. Senator Harris ran a network, multiple operations, across the country. How many more were out there? How many more children waited in darkness? And more importantly, the people Harris worked with, the ones he mentioned, the network. They wouldn't just let this go, wouldn't accept defeat, wouldn't stop. They'd come back, harder, smarter, more vicious. This wasn't over. This was just beginning. But tonight, in this moment, under stars that watched over rescued children and broken men who'd chosen to fight, tonight they'd won. And that, for now, was enough. The days after the summit blurred together like watercolors in rain. Cole sat in a hospital room watching Tyler sleep. The 10-year-old had barely let go of his hand since the rescue. 3 days now, 72 hours of medical evaluations and police interviews and therapists with kind eyes who asked questions that didn't have easy answers. Harper was 2 rooms down, talking more every day. The silence she'd carried for 6 months was breaking apart, words spilling out like she was trying to make up for lost time. Ava and Leo shared a room, refused to be separated. Social workers had stopped trying. Some bonds couldn't be broken by bureaucracy. 47 children from the summit, 13 from the ranch, 60 total, 60 stories of survival, 60 lives trying to remember what normal meant. If they'd ever known normal to begin with. Iron appeared in the doorway. He looked tired, the kind of tired that came from carrying weight that wasn't supposed to be yours, but you picked up anyway because someone had to. How's he doing? Cole glanced at Tyler. Nightmares, every time he falls asleep. But Elena says that's normal, that it'll take time. Time doesn't fix everything. No, but it helps. Iron nodded, settled into the chair beside Cole's. They sat in silence, two people who understood that some things didn't need words. FBI's making arrests, Iron said finally. Judge Crawford, three more politicians. Business people, law enforcement. Warren's testimony is bringing down the whole network. How many total? 23 so far. More coming. Ghost says it's the biggest trafficking bust in U.S. history. Cole should have felt something. Pride, relief, victory. But all he felt was hollow. Like he'd run so hard for so long that stopping felt wrong. Morrison wants to talk to you, Iron continued. About Harper. Something cold settled in Cole's chest. What about her? They found her family, her real family. Parents who have been looking for her since she was taken. The world tilted. How pun database from the summit had intake files, real names, Harper Rodriguez, taken from a hospital parking lot in Phoenix 3 years ago. Parents are Garrett and Claire Bennett. They never stopped searching. Cole looked at Tyler, at this kid who'd become his brother through shared suffering, at the family he'd built in cages and darkness. And now Harper. Harper might have real parents, people who'd loved her before the monsters got her, people who wanted her back. When, sir? They're flying in tomorrow, want to see her. But Cole, they asked about you too. Why? Because Harper told them everything. Told them about the boy who held her hand through cage bars, who carried her 40 miles through desert, who saved her. They want to meet you. Cole's hands started shaking. He clenched them into fists. What if they don't want me around? What if seeing me reminds her of everything bad? Kid, you're not the bad. You're the good that happened in the middle of bad. There's a difference. But Cole wasn't sure there was. He'd been there, in those cages, part of that world. Maybe Harper needed to forget all of it, him included. Elena appeared, medical bag in hand. Tyler needs his medication, and you need sleep. I'm fine. You've been awake for 60 hours. You're not fine. You're running on fumes and stubbornness. Her voice softened. Go. Rest. I'll watch him. Cole wanted to argue, but his body was betraying him. Vision blurring at the edges, thoughts moving through mud. 2 hours, then I'm back. 4, and that's not negotiable. Iron stood, put a hand on Cole's shoulder. Come on, I'll take you to the clubhouse. The ride back felt surreal. Colorado mountains giving way to desert. Elevation dropping, temperature rising. The world continuing like nothing had changed. But everything had changed. 60 children free. A network crumbling. Lives rebuilt from ashes. And Cole didn't know what he was anymore. Victim felt wrong. Survivor felt incomplete. Hero felt like a lump. He was just tired. The clubhouse appeared, same brick building, same motorcycles lined up outside, same smell of oil and leather and coffee, but different too, somehow, like a place that had been repurposed, reborn into something it was never meant to be. Inside, chaos, not the dangerous kind. The productive kind. Steele on a phone coordinating something, Ghost at his laptop running searches, Mac and the others converting the garage into something else. What's happening? Cole asked. Iron smiled. We're building something, a program, for kids like you and Harper and Tyler, kids who fall through cracks, who need more than the system can give. What kind of program? Safe houses, vetted foster families, legal aid, therapy, everything a kid needs to actually heal instead of just surviving. Cole stared. That's a lot. Yeah, but we got Morrison on board. FBI's backing it, and we got federal funding approved. Federal funding for a motorcycle club. For the Guardian program, Iron corrected. We're not just a club anymore. We're something bigger. The words hung in the air. Guardian program, protection, purpose, legacy. Why? Cole's voice was barely a whisper. Why do all this? Iron was quiet for a long moment. Then he pulled out his locket, opened it, showed Cole the photograph inside. My daughter Sarah, she died 12 years ago. I couldn't save her. Couldn't fight cancer. Couldn't do anything except watch her fade. His voice was rough. I spent a decade drowning in grief, drinking, fighting, waiting to do it so I could be with her again. He looked at Cole. Then you showed up. You and Harper. Two kids who shouldn't have survived but did anyway. Who fought when fighting should have been impossible. Who taught me that maybe. Maybe losing Sarah wasn't the end. Maybe it was the beginning of something else. You're doing this for her. I'm doing this because of her. Because she taught me what love looks like. What protecting someone means. What matters when everything else falls away. Iron closed the locket. This program, these kids, it's my way of making sure her life meant something. That her death wasn't just waste. Cole understood, more than Iron probably knew, because he'd felt the same thing. That surviving meant owing something to those who didn't. That breathing when others stopped meant making those breaths count. I want to help. The words came out before Cole could stop them. With the program, I want to be part of it. You're 15. I'm a survivor. I know these kids, know what they're going through, know what they need. Age doesn't matter when you've lived what they've lived. Iron studied him. You should be thinking about school, normal teenage things, not building programs. I stopped being normal 3 years ago, can't go back, don't want to. This is what I'm supposed to do. Something shifted in Iron's expression. Pride, recognition, the look of someone seeing potential where others saw broken pieces. After you finish school, after you're 18, there's a place here for you if you want it. I want it. Then it's yours. Cole slept for 6 hours. Dreamless, deep. The kind of sleep that came from bodies finally admitting they couldn't run anymore. He woke to Harper's voice. They're here, my parents, they're really here. Cole sat up too fast, the room spun. Where it downstairs, Elena's with them. They want to meet you. Fear crashed through him. Maybe you should see them alone first. Without me. No, I need you, please. How did you say no to that, to a little girl who'd survived hell asking for the one thing that made her feel safe? You didn't. They went downstairs together, Harper's hand in his, her grip tight enough to hurt. The couple in the main room looked normal, painfully normal. Man in his late 30s, woman slightly younger, both dressed like they'd come from jobs that involved offices and paychecks and lives that made sense. They saw Harper. The woman made a sound that wasn't quite human, hand flying to her mouth, eyes flooding. Ruby, the name cracked coming out, her real name. The one she'd had before monsters renamed her property. Oh my God, Ruby! Harper froze, stared at these strangers who weren't strangers, searching faces for something familiar, something remembered from when she was new and the world was supposed to be safe. Mama, the word tentative, uncertain. 3 years was a long time for a child. Memories faded, replaced by survival and suffering. The woman, Claire. She nodded, tears streaming freely now. Yes, baby, it's Mama and Daddy. We're here. Garrett, the father, he looked like someone had hollowed him out and filled the space with raw emotion. We never stopped looking, never stopped hoping. Every day, every single day, we looked for you. Harper took a step forward, then another, moving like she was approaching something fragile, something that might shatter if she moved too fast. Claire dropped to her knees, put herself at Harper's level. I know you might not remember us. I know 3 years is forever when you're your age. But Ruby, we love you. We never stopped loving you, not for 1 second. I remember. Harper's voice was small but steady. I remember brown hair and songs. Daddy sang songs before bed about stars. Garrett's face crumpled. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Your favorited. I remember Mama going inside to get medicine. I was supposed to wait in the car, but a man came, he had candy, and then I woke up somewhere else. Claire sobbed. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I should never have left you alone. Should never have. This is my fault. No. Harper's voice went fierce, strong. No, it's not your fault. Bad people did bad things. That's their fault. Not yours, not mine, just theirs. The wisdom in those words. From an 8-year-old who'd learned lessons no child should know. Claire opened her arms, not grabbing, not demanding, just offering. Harper looked back at Cole, seeking permission. Or maybe courage, or maybe both. He nodded. It's okay. I'm right here. She turned back, stepped into her mother's arms, the sound Claire made as she wrapped around her daughter. As she held this child she'd lost 3 years ago, it broke something in that room, something that needed breaking. Garrett joined them, arms around both, family reuniting, broken pieces finding their way back together. Cole stepped back, giving them space, trying to ignore the hollow feeling spreading in his chest. This was good. This was what Harper deserved. Real parents, real love, a life that didn't involve cages and monsters and boys who'd failed to protect her from the worst of it. This was. Right. So why did it feel like losing Iron appeared at his side? Said nothing. Just stood there. Solid. Present. After a long moment, Harper pulled back, looked at her parents with eyes that were still ancient despite the child's face. There's someone you need to meet. She turned, found Cole. This is Cole. He saved me. Where Garrett stood, approached, extended a hand. We know, Harper told us everything, on the phone, how you protected her, carried her, brought her to safety. His voice was thick. I don't have words adequate for what you did. Cole shook the offered hand. She needed help. I helped. You did more than help. You kept our daughter alive. Gave her hope when hope should have been impossible. Garrett's grip tightened. You gave us our family back. How? How do we ever repay that? You don't have to. I didn't do it for payment. What did you do it for? Cole looked at Harper, at this little girl who'd become his reason to keep fighting when fighting seemed pointless. Because someone had to. And I was there, and she mattered. Claire stood, joined her husband. Her eyes were red, but her gaze was clear. Harper says you're her brother, that you and the others, Tyler, the kids from the ranch and the summit, your family. We survived together. Yeah, we're family. Then you're family to us too. Claire's voice was firm, decided. Harper told us everything about you holding her hand through cage bars, about carrying her 40 miles, about coming back for the others, she said. She said you're the bravest person she knows. Cole's throat closed up. I'm not brave, I'm just someone who didn't want to be alone. That's what makes you brave, Garrett said. Choosing connection over isolation when the world taught you to trust no one. That's courage. We'd like. Claire struggled for words. Harper says you don't have family, that you're alone. The clubhouse, Iron and the brothers, they're something, but not family, not legal, not permanent. Claire took a breath. We want to change that. If you'd let us. The world stopped. What? We want you to come home with us, with Harper. We want to adopt you, make you our son, Harper's brother, officially, legally, permanently. Whoa, Cole couldn't breathe, couldn't think, couldn't process words that sounded like dreams. You don't even know me. We know you saved our daughter. We know you protected her when we couldn't. We know you're the reason she's alive. Garrett's voice was steady. And we know Harper needs you, loves you, can't imagine life without you. That's enough. But I'm broken, damaged. 3 years in hell doesn't just go away. Claire stepped forward, took his hands. We're all broken, all of us. Grief broke us when Harper was taken. Fear broke us during the search. But you kept our daughter's heart intact, kept her from breaking in ways that can't be fixed. You gave us the chance to heal together. How could we not want you as part of that? Cole looked at Iron, seeking something, permission. guidance, an answer to a question he didn't know how to ask. Iron's eyes were wet, but his voice was steady. This is your choice, kid. You want a family. Real family. These people are offering. You want to stay here. Work the program when you are ready. That's an option too. Either way, you got people who care about you. That's more than most. Harper appeared at Cole's side. Her small hand found his. Please, please come home with us. I need you. I need my brother. And there it was, the thing Cole had been fighting against for 3 years. The thing that terrified him more than cages and guards and buyers. Hope. The possibility that maybe he deserved good things. Family, love, a future that involved more than just surviving. I, I need time to think. Claire nodded. Of course, take all the time you need. We're not going anywhere. We waited 3 years to find Harper. We can wait however long you need. They left that afternoon, promising to return, to call, to stay connected. Harper hugged Cole at the door. You're going to say yes, right? I don't know. Please say yes, please. I just got you and Mama and Daddy. I can't. I can't lose anyone again. You won't lose me, even if I don't. If I choose to stay here, you'll never lose me. But it won't be the same? No, but it'll still be real. Still be family. Just different. She didn't look convinced, but she nodded. Got in the car with parents who still looked shell-shocked by miracle. Drove away toward a life Cole couldn't quite imagine. That night, Cole found Iron in his office, staring at photographs on the wall, images from the raids, children being rescued, faces changing from terror to hope. You think I should go with them? The Bennetts. Iron didn't turn. I think you should do what's right for you. That's not an answer. It's the only answer I got. Iron finally looked at him. Cole, you've been making impossible choices since you were 12. Choosing to protect Harper. Choosing to escape. Choosing to come back for others. You're good at this. At seeing what needs doing and doing it even when it costs. So what needs doing now? That's for you to figure out, but I'll tell you what I see. Iron stood, walked to the window. I see a kid who deserves normal, who deserves parents and school and teenage problems, who deserves a childhood even if it's late. But I also see someone who's been forged by fire, who understands suffering in ways most people never will, who could use that understanding to help others, to build something that matters. The program. Yeah, the program. We need people who get it, who know what these kids are going through, who can look them in the eye and say, I survived and mean it. Cole was quiet for a long time. Can I do both? Have a family and work the program? Don't see why not. Bennett's live in Phoenix, 3-hour drive. You finish school there. Come back summers, weekends when you can. Help build this thing from the ground up. Then, when you're 18, when you're ready, full-time if you want. You'd wait for me, Iron smiled. Kid, you walked through fire, saved 60 children, brought down a network that operated for decades. I'd wait a lifetime for you. Something broke in Cole, the wall he'd been building, the fear he'd been carrying. It cracked, fell, left him raw and open and terrified. I don't know how to be someone's son. Don't know how to be normal. Normal's overrated, and being someone's son, you just show up. Be yourself, let them love you. Rest comes natural. What if I mess up? Then you mess up. Family doesn't give up on you for messing up. That's the whole point. Cole thought about Harper, about her face when she'd asked him to come home, about the Bennetts offering something he'd thought he'd never have again, about Tyler, about the other kids, about the program that could save hundreds, thousands, about choice, the power to decide instead of having decisions made for him. I'm going to say yes to the Bennetts, but I'm coming back to help, to build the program, to make sure no kid goes through what we went through. Iron's smile grew wider. That's my boy. The next 3 weeks blurred together. FBI interviews, court dates, testimony against Senator Harris and the others. Cole on the stand telling his story to judges and juries and the world watching. The media coverage was relentless. Teen hero saves 60 children. Motorcycle club takes down trafficking network. The Guardian program launches. Cole hated the attention, but understood its purpose. Every interview, every article, every news segment brought awareness, brought donations, brought support for the program. Tyler was placed with a family in Portland, good people who'd lost their own son to cancer, who wanted to honor his memory by helping another child. Ava and Leo stayed together, placed with a couple who understood trauma, who had training, resources, love, one by one. The 60 children found homes, some with biological families, some with foster families, some in group homes designed for healing, all of them connected to the Guardian program, all of them with support, resources, people who'd make sure they didn't fall through cracks. And then, 3 weeks after the rescue, Cole stood in a courtroom, not to testify, to finalize. Cole Marcus Reynolds. The judge read from papers in front of her. Do you consent to adoption by Garrett and Claire Bennett? Cole looked at the couple beside him. Garrett in a suit that didn't quite fit, Claire with tears already streaming, Harper bouncing on her toes with barely contained excitement. His family, somehow, against all odds. Yes, Your Honor, I consent. The gavel came down. Adoption finalized. Cole Marcus Bennett, welcome to your family. The courtroom erupted, Harper screaming with joy, Claire sobbing, Garrett wrapping arms around all of them. Iron watched from the back, Steele beside him. The brothers who'd rode into hell because a 15-year-old asked for help. Cole met Iron's eyes across the room. Mouthed 2 words, thank you. Iron nodded, touched the locket around his neck, the one with Sarah's picture, and smiled. 1 year passed. Cole stood in front of a mirror, 16 now, taller, broader, haircut proper, clothes that fit, looking like someone who'd never known cages. But his eyes still carried shadows, always would. Some things you survived, but never forgot. You ready? Garrett appeared in the doorway. Big day. Yeah, ready. They drove to Nevada, to the clubhouse that had become so much more. The Guardian program headquarters, fully funded, fully operational, expanding to 10 states. Inside, chaos, the good kind, children everywhere, some being processed, some being placed, some just visiting, staying connected. Elena coordinating medical evaluations, Steele handling legal paperwork, Ghost running background checks on potential foster families, and Iron, at the center of it all. President, director, the man who'd turned grief into purpose. He saw Cole, smiled. There he is, the reason we're all here. Pretty sure you're the reason. You showed up at my door, you started this. Don't forget that. They gathered in the chapel, the room where decisions were made, where brotherhood became action. But it wasn't just brothers anymore. Social workers, lawyers, therapists, FBI agents like Morrison who'd become allies, families who'd adopted, children who'd survived, an entire network built around a simple promise: protect the innocent. Iron stood at the head of the table. 1 year ago, a 15-year-old boy collapsed at our gate. He'd walked 40 miles through desert carrying a little girl, asked us to protect her, to save 12 more children trapped in hell. He looked at Cole. We said yes, and that yes changed everything, changed us. Changed 60 children's lives, changed how we see ourselves, changed what we thought was possible. Today, the Guardian program operates in 10 states. We've helped 217 children find safe placements. We've worked with FBI to bring down 4 major trafficking networks. We've built something that matters. He paused. But we're not done. There are thousands more kids out there, thousands more operations, thousands more fights ahead. And we need people who understand, who've lived it, who won't stop until every cage is empty. Iron pulled something from his desk. A patch. Not full Hell's Angels colors, but close. Shield symbol, silver thread. 1 word below. Protector. Cole Marcus Bennett, you were the first, the one who showed us what real courage looks like, who taught us that protecting people means more than territory or reputation or tradition, who proved that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is ask for help. He held out the patch. This is yours. If you want it, means you're under our protection, means your family, means when you're 18. If you choose, there's a path to full membership, to being part of this officially. Cole took the patch, felt the weight of it, the meaning. I don't know what to say. Say you'll keep fighting. Say you'll help us build this thing into something that outlives us all. Say you'll be the guardian you needed when you were 12. I will, I promise. The room erupted, brothers pounding tables, children cheering, family celebrating. Harper pushed through the crowd, threw arms around Cole's waist. I'm so proud of you. Proud of us. We did this together. Yeah, we did. Tyler appeared, 13 now, growing like a weed, smile bright. Looks good on you. Cole pinned the patch to his jacket, over his heart, where it belonged. Feels right. It is right. You're right where you're supposed to be. Elena presented a silver chain, shield pendant hanging from it, so you never forget who you are. Cole took it, read the inscription on the back. Guardian, protector, brother. He put it on, felt it settle against his chest next to the patch. This was his identity now, not victim, not survivor, guardian, someone who stood between darkness and light, who protected people who couldn't protect themselves, who kept promises even when keeping them cost everything. The celebration went late. Food, stories, laughter. The kind of family gathering Cole had thought existed only in movies. But it was real. All of it real. This strange, impossible, beautiful family forged from trauma and choice and refusing to accept that suffering was inevitable. Late that night, Cole found himself outside. Nevada desert stretching into darkness. Stars overhead. Same stars that had watched over him during that 40-mile walk. Iron appeared. Can't sleep. Too much in my head. Yeah, happens. Iron leaned against the wall. You did good today, wearing that patch. Understanding what it means. What does it mean? Means you're not just surviving anymore. You're living, building, you're creating something that'll last long after we're gone. Cole looked at the shield on his chest. Sometimes I think about them, the kids who didn't make it, who were sold or moved or worse, and I wonder why I survived when they didn't. Survivor's guilt, normal, painful, but normal. How do you handle it? Iron pulled out his locket, opened it, Sarah's face smiling up at them. I honor them, my daughter, the ones we couldn't save. I honor them by making sure their suffering means something, by building something that might prevent others from suffering the same way. Does it help the honoring? Some days, other days, it hurts worse than anything. But it's purpose, and purpose is what keeps us going when everything else fails. They stood in silence, two people bound by loss and hope, and the stubborn refusal to let darkness win. Then, a sound. Engines. Approaching. Iron tensed, hand going to his belt. A vehicle pulled up. Not FBI, not law enforcement, just a car, old, rusted, barely running. The driver's door opened. A girl stepped out, 13 maybe, 14, bruised face, torn clothes, and behind her a boy, 7, clutching her hand like a lifeline. She saw Iron, saw Cole, saw the clubhouse. Please, her voice was hoarse, desperate. Please, they said you help people, that you save kids like us. Cole felt something settle in his chest, heavy, right. This was why, this moment, this desperate plea in the middle of night. This was purpose. Iron stepped forward. What's your name, Mercy? And this is my brother Danny. We ran from a place, a bad place. And we heard about the Guardian program, about people who protect children. Is that real? It's real. Cole moved to stand beside Iron. Come inside, you're safe now. Mercy's legs gave out. She went down hard. Cole caught her, caught Danny too as the little boy collapsed. We're safe. Mercy's voice cracked. Really safe. Really safe. Cole looked at Iron, at the man who'd taught him what protecting people meant. I promise. They carried them inside. Alina already moving, medical bag in hand, brothers gathering, the machine that was the Guardian program activating. 2 more children, 2 more lives saved. Two more reasons to keep fighting. Harper appeared, sleepy, rubbing her eyes. She saw Mercy and Danny, saw their condition, understood immediately. I'll get blankets and food and I'll tell them it's okay, that they're home now. She disappeared, 8 years old and already understanding her role, already becoming a guardian in her own right. Cole helped Elena settle the siblings, watched as terror slowly gave way to fragile hope, as understanding crept in that maybe this time the adults who said you're safe actually meant it. Iron pulled him aside. This is it. This is what we built. 2 in the morning and children show up knowing we'll be here, knowing we'll help, knowing we keep promises. How many more you think will come? As many as need us. Could be one a month, could be one a week, could be dozens. But we'll be here. Always. Always is a long time. Then we better get comfortable. The sun rose over the clubhouse, pink and gold light spilling across desert, illuminating a building that had transformed from motorcycle club to sanctuary, from brotherhood to family. Inside, Mercy and Danny slept, safe, protected, beginning the long journey toward healing. Harper sat with them, quiet guardian, making sure they weren't alone when they woke. Tyler called from Portland, just to check in, to say hi, to remind everyone he was thriving, growing, becoming the person trauma tried to prevent him from being. The 60 children from the ranch and summit gathered across the country, all connected, all supported, all surviving. And in the chapel, Iron stood before a wall, new photographs joining old ones, faces of children rescued, families reunited, lives rebuilt. At the center, Cole's photograph from that first night, 15 years old, battered, desperate, carrying Harper. Below it, a plaque, the first guardian, the one who showed us the way. Cole read it, felt something swell in his chest. Pride, purpose, hope. This was his legacy, not the suffering, not the cages, not the darkness. This building, this program, these children finding safety. This was what mattered. Morrison arrived mid-morning. Updates on the trial. Senator Harris convicted. 23 defendants total. Guilty, and all facing decades in prison. The network shattered. Operations shut down across the country. We couldn't have done it without you. She told Cole. What you built here, it's changing how we handle these cases, how we think about victims' support, she stopped, looked at Cole, really looked. You were 15 when this started. Now you're 16 and wearing that patch and standing here like you've been doing this your whole life. How? Cole thought about the question, about the 40-mile walk, about Tyler and Harper and 60 children, about Iron and Elena and brothers who'd chosen to fight, about Garrett and Claire who'd chosen to love, about his mother's letter, about her belief that he was stronger than he knew, braver than he believed. I had help, he said simply. People who showed up when showing up mattered. That's all. Just people who cared. That's not all. That's everything. She was right. It was everything. The day passed. Mercy and Danny woke, confused, scared. But Harper was there, explaining, comforting, being the survivor who could tell them, I know, I understand, and it gets better. Elena evaluated them, documented injuries, started the process of healing. Steele began paperwork, finding families, building files, making sure these two children wouldn't fall through cracks. Ghost ran searches, tracing where they'd come from, building cases, making sure whoever hurt them faced consequences. The machine worked, efficient, professional, caring. Everything trauma response should be, but usually wasn't. And at the center, Iron, the president who'd lost his daughter but found purpose, who'd turned a motorcycle club into a movement, who proved that broken men could build beautiful things if they just chose to dream one. That evening, Cole found him in his office, staring at Sarah's photograph. You okay? Iron smiled. Yeah, just thinking about her, about what she'd say if she could see this, the program, the kids, everything we've built. What do you think she'd say? She'd say I'm a stubborn old man who took too long to figure out what mattered. His voice was soft. But she'd be proud, I think. I hope. She'd be proud. I'm sure of it. How can you be sure? Because I'm proud. And I barely know you. Imagine how she'd feel. Your daughter, watching you save 60 children, build a program that's already helped hundreds, change the world for the better. She'd be so proud she'd burst. Iron's eyes glistened. He touched the locket. Thanks, kid. Needed to hear that. Anytime. They sat in comfortable silence. Father figure and son, not by blood, by choice, by the bonds forged in crisis and strengthened through purpose. You heading back to Phoenix tomorrow? Iron asked. Yeah, school starts next week, but I'll be back. Weekends, holidays, summer, whenever you need me. We'll always need you, but you need normal too. School, friends, being 16. Don't lose that chasing this. I won't. Bennett's are good about balance. Claire makes sure I do homework. Garrett takes me to movies. Harper just makes sure I smile at least once a day. Cole shook his head. Still weird, having a family. Good weird or bad weird? Best weird, like, I spent 3 years convinced I'd never have this. Never have people who cared. And now I got parents and a sister and you and the brothers. And it's overwhelming, but in the best way. You deserve it, all of it. Remember that. Trying to. The next morning, Cole packed. Not much. Clothes, the patch, the chain. His mother's letter that he'd read so many times the paper was soft. Garrett arrived to pick him up. They loaded the car, said goodbyes that weren't really goodbyes. Just see you laters. Harper hugged him tight. Don't forget about us. Impossible, you're stuck with me. Promise, Tay. Iron walked him to the car, held out his hand. Cole shook it, the grip firm, familiar. Home. You've got my number. You need anything, day or night. You call. Same goes for you. Program needs help. I'm here. I know, that's what makes you family. Cole got in the car, looked back at the clubhouse one more time, at the building that had saved him, at the people who'd chosen to fight for children they'd never met, at the legacy being built one rescued child at a time. Then they drove away, toward Phoenix, toward the Bennetts, toward school and homework, in the strange, normal life of a 16-year-old who'd survived hell and come out determined to make sure no one else had to. The Guardian program continued, growing, expanding, saving. 10 states became 15, 15 became 20, children rescued, families reunited. Operations shut down, networks shattered, all because one boy had walked 40 miles through desert carrying a little girl. All because a motorcycle club president had said yes when asked for help. All because people had chosen, over and over, to stand between darkness and light, to protect, to guard, to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. And late at night, when new children showed up desperate and terrified, someone was always there. Iron, or Steel, or Elena, or any of the 100 volunteers who joined the cause. Always answering, always protecting, always keeping the promise. You're safe now, and meaning it. Because some promises were too important to break. Some fights were too important to abandon. Some children were too important to forget. Always, forever. Until every cage was empty. Until every child knew safety. Until every monster faced justice. That was the promise. That was the legacy. That was the Guardian program. Built by broken people for broken children. Proving every day that trauma didn't have to be the end. That suffering could become strength. That darkness could birth light. That hope, against all odds, against all evidence, against all logic, hope could win. The end. Epilogue. 2 years later, the knock came at 2:47 in the morning. Cole, 18 now, official member of the Guardian program, sleeping in the clubhouse between college semesters, woke immediately. He knew that sound, that timing, that desperate quality of fist on metal. Iron was already moving, old habits, old instincts. They reached the door together. A girl, 12 maybe, 13, holding a younger child, 4, 5, both terrified, both hoping. Please, the girl's voice shook. Please, they said you save people. Is that true? Cole knelt down, put himself at their level, the way Iron had done for him 3 years ago. It's true. What's your name? Jade. And this is my sister Lily. We ran from bad people, and we need help. Cole looked at Iron, at the man who'd taught him everything, who'd given him purpose when purpose seemed impossible. Iron nodded, the slightest movement, permission, trust, pride. Cole turned back to the children. I'm Cole. This is Iron. And I promise you, right here, right now, you're safe. No one's going to hurt you, ever again. Do you believe me? Jade studied his face, looking for lies, for cracks, for the betrayal she'd learned to expect. Found none. Yes, her voice was barely a whisper. I believe you. Good, come inside. Let's get you warm, fed, safe, then we'll figure out the rest, together. Okay, okay. They came inside, into warmth, into safety, into the legacy built by a 15-year-old who'd refused to give up in a motorcycle club that had chosen to fight. And as the door closed, as Cole wrapped blankets around two more rescued children, as Iron called Elena and Steele and the others, somewhere, in heaven or memory or the quiet space where lost souls watched over the living, Sarah smiled. Her father, her impossible, stubborn, brave father. He'd done it, built something beautiful, something lasting, something that mattered. And beside her, another soul, Jane, Cole's mother, who'd searched until she died, who'd believed until the end. They watched together, as their children, living and growing and fighting, kept the promise, protected the innocent, guarded the vulnerable, built the legacy. One rescued child at a time, forever, always.